as you can see, it was already starting to flower. We have more over here, and this was like the first time ever this tree did this. But as you can see, it's reclining in the wrong side, not where it is, because it got attacked. So, husband, say hi.
Hello.
What happened to the lime tree?
Unfortunately, it looks like, sad to say, probably about 3 years back it got a citrus greening disease, and it's spread by a bug that unfortunately I think about 3 or 4 years back was pretty prevalent in the Escondido area, and it was attacking the citrus trees, and it carries a bacterial disease.
So this tree has had this for 3 years?
Yes.
And that's why it never...
I think that's why it never fruited, and it never, actually 4 years, right? We got 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years. I don't think that's why it ever fruited. The leaves would kind of turn green and they get yellow, and every year it's just been getting worse and worse, no matter how much I put on it. This is the best year it ever did anything. And
yeah, it was a flower.
But the leaves would just yellow a little bit. I've tried everything.
Yeah, we even thought it was maybe calcium deficiency, right?
Yeah, we thought it was, no, not calcium, that was some type of mineral deficiency.
Oh.
And it seemed to do a little bit better, and then I thought it was a nitrogen deficiency, and then it just didn't do good at all. And as you can see on the root system, this is it. So this is not good at all.
So unfortunately, there's not like something that lets you see the roots until you dig them out.
Yes.
Just to make sure that it's not something good.
So also, I mean, you can tell this plant is not healthy at all.
Yeah, because after 3 years, you would say that the root system would have been more complicated.
Yeah, it would be a lot bigger, and this is it. I mean, this is horrible. So, so we made the difficult decision, because it was doing so good this year, and then finally I just saw the leaves starting to fall off and the greening, and I just decided, well, you know what, even though this is the best year it is, they probably won't even ripen, because that's what greening, citrus greening does, is the fruit never ripens, or it ripens unevenly. You also get a larger blossom drop. But I guess it does prove that the permaculture tactics that we've been using can pretty much make a very sick tree still produce. Maybe if we had more land and more time, maybe we would try to see if it would survive. But unfortunately we don't have the time and we don't have more land, so we had to make the difficult decision to get rid of it.
And I guess it fitted very well with the fact that new year, new tree.
Yes.
So we got a new additions that we're gonna show you real soon. Now, after husband took the lime tree out, you notice all those root systems there? Well, guess what? Those were taken out from the hole where the lime tree was, and those do not belong to the lime tree. They belong to the plants that are around and even outside, like those that are actually outside where we live. But they would just go underground and there try to get the minerals and goodies that we put on the soil. So we don't know for sure if maybe that could have contributed for the tree not to get enough nutrients. But whatever is the case, well, it's too late now. So what husband did was cut as many roots of that as possible. And then right now he just threw some of the red clover because of the nitrogen fixation. And we're just going to plant more around it. And yes, that's the comfrey. It's a little chewed on, but hopefully it'll recover. And a lot of the plants got a little yellowish on it because there was a couple of days ago there was some frost. But they'll recover because it's being warmer during the day. And yes, there's 2 holes in there, so it's not going to be just one tree that we're going to plant. It's going to be 2. So we'll show you just about now. So, Hassan, what did you put in the holes that you dug for the tree?
So mostly it was a lot of rock dust. The local rock dust company that we use is Arwin, AgroWin.
So I think you've seen that in previous video,
yeah.
and I'm gonna put the name anyways on the description or in caption. But yeah, so sea minerals.
I'd say probably about 3 pounds, about 2 pounds for each, because there's a pound of lab.
And we'll be putting what else?
So we'll be putting, so altogether it'll be about 5 pounds. Right now it's about 2 pounds each that was put in there.
Both holes, the one over there and this one.
And yeah, both of the holes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be 5 pounds altogether between the 2 holes. We put a little bit of, Job's all-purpose, the usual stuff we use.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit, because you don't want to give them a lot of nitrogen the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least until they start taking off. Now there seems to be a disagreement of whether you should put other fertilizers like bone meal and potash and all that stuff. So what I did is I did go ahead and put a lot of bone meal because I want to encourage the root growth of the plants and for the first year. So I did put quite a bit of bone meal, and I did put quite a bit of, I have some rock phosphate, and I did mix that in the soil.
Will the leaves of the sick trees that are around affect the new trees and stuff?
No, no.
So it would just work like normal
it's only
compost
for, yeah, it comes from the insect biting.
Oh.
Biting the tree, and then it got into
the system.
Got into the system that way.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is then I mixed with this particular side where the lime tree was. I also noticed that it did always drain pretty well. I wasn't very happy with the quality of the soil, so I added some compost and some sand to that soil so that it could drain a little bit more and loosen up the soil a little bit because it was a little too compact for me. And then we're also going to use some Malibu compost, and I'm going to put those in the holes and plant the trees on top of them just to kind of give them the Malibu compost has a lot of fungus, so it will help them. And then also another reason why I use the Jobs is because it contains mycorrhiza, which will go ahead and pollinate the soil. And this, I use my mixture that I've used with the berries, and it also has a mycorrhiza inoculant in it.
So this tree that we have here, it's a, what is it?
This is Alberta peach tree.
Ultra dwarf tree.
Ultra dwarf, yes.
And it's been soaking on what for how long?
It's been soaking in the water that we normally use, the mixture, which is kelp meal, sea minerals, a handful of Malibu compost, an inoculant that we buy from Kelp for Less, and we can put that link, I guess, on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the inoculant has the mycorrhiza, beneficial bacteria. Also, there's a handful of worm castings in there, and as you can see, it's pretty dark because it's got kelp. And then we'll also use this to water, which is kind of a benefit.
And how long have you had it there?
About 12 hours.
And what's the minimum time to soak it?
24. Oh, minimum? 2 hours.
2 hours to 24 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
But because we bought it from a big box store, I was kind of concerned that it was there for a long time and it didn't really get a good drink, and it looks like it's kind of puffed out a little bit. So that's one reason why you put it in there, because they tend to dry out, and it just kind of lets them get enough water.
Because they're going to go through shock or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's important is that before you do any trimming on your fruit trees, especially peaches and the other tree that we got, you have to clean your clippers to get rid of any diseases that might have been on other plants, any type of bacteria or fungal diseases. So you just use some rubbing alcohol and just clean it really well. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to look at your roots, see if there's if there's any type of broken ones, like here. So we're going to cut that, because we don't want any broken roots in there. The reason why you want to do that is it makes it open for diseases to get in. Unfortunately, one of the main roots we have to cut because it got broke. That kind of sucks. Okay. So some of the anchor roots got damaged, it looks like. So we'll see. Then we're going to go ahead and try to skim it. See if it's and you want to, this part where the graft is, can you see that?
Yep.
That's, you want to plant that towards north to help avoid any type of scalding from the sun. We're going to put that north, which is, that's north, right?
Yeah.
Just going to put this down, make it lay down, make sure. A little bit more soil. And then you just add on your soil. This is just some of the clover we had, so offer some nutrients to it. And the reason why you want to do it kind of level with the soil, you don't want to plant it too deep, because you want at least a little bit where this is, what's it called? Where the graft was.
Careful.
Just lightly.
Okay, I guess I can let go now.
Yeah.
So now we add the water it was soaked in.
Just to kind of settle it a little bit.
This is an Ultra Dwarf Early Elberta peach, or what? Gleason strain. And it's a self-fertile, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always better if you can plant more than one anyways,
but we can't because of the space, so one
yes.
is fine. As long as it's self-fertile.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim. We should just trim this one.
Like Prunus?
And when you trim on the outside, you want see the bud that's there? You want it to go out this side.
So you clip after the bud or below the bud?
Right before the bud. Like that. See where the bud is right there?
So you pass the bud and a little bit above you cut?
You cut.
Okay, above.
No, and you don't want anything growing inside. See this?
Something that's crossing?
Or crossing, you want to get rid of that. These are fine. We don't want this growing. Anything that's growing inside. You don't want them growing towards the
outside.
Towards the outside. And we're going to also trim the bud here. There.
And then the clip-ins? What?
Clippings that you have, if they're long enough, you can use them for
rooting them?
Make rooting them.
Like cuttings?
Cuttings. You can have your own cuttings. So that way they don't go to waste and you have more trees. I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah. So the reason why you want to trim your trees is you do it every time, usually in January here on the West Coast, or when all the leaves fall off. You want to do this so that, one, you trim the tree so that it could just support it and make it stronger so it could hold all the fruit that it has without breaking its branches. And two, it also helps to increase the growth. So you want to do this every year, usually in January for our area. Okay. And in October probably in the really cold regions where there's snow. This is our bare root.
The other tree that we got.
The other tree, and it's a cherry tree.
It's also an ultra-dwarf, self-fertile.
Self-fertile Bing tree, which we found out according...
Well, it says it's a Bing tree, but we think...
It's a Lapins cherry tree.
Because, and yes, we know that the Bing is not self-fertile, that's why we suspect it's the other.
Yes.
Because it says it's self-fertile, so... Unless it was grafted to something... I don't know. Well, the thing is that it's self-fertile. So we'll see once it fruits what it is.
Yes.
And then, are you going to show the root system or something?
Yes, this is our root system. So, as you can see, it's not as extensive. I'm going to cut some of these roots on the top because I don't want anything really growing anything that high up. And then I'm going to trim this whole section off in the middle because I'm going to use the vase or open face system for cherry trees. For cherry trees, you can either use what they call like a pyramid shape, which is the way this was shaped, or you could use the open face. I was kind of just trying to decide which one would be better, and what made me decide is I saw trees that were cherry trees that were actually 60 years old, and they were still producing, and that's the method they used.
The open face?
Does the open face. So I figured, okay, so that's probably better for the tree.
So now for this one. Goodbye! But that's going to become a cutting. So
A cutting.
Hopefully. I'm still into trying to learn how to grow bonsai. So.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, and this is the open method?
Yes. So I'm going to encourage all the branches to go like this. As you can see, they did it on this one. They cut the top here when it was smaller, and that caused the open face.
And that's it?
And then what we're going to do is we'll do our usual. We'll fill this hole up with
crimson clover?
Well, first mulch, and then crimson clover. We'll do that all, get those, back to where they were before. And then in spring, we're going to plant some comfrey around it. We're going to order some comfrey roots and plant them around it too.
And well, if you were wondering, over there what we had was a lime tree that we just took out. If you're wondering what was here, it was a red rose. So it wasn't doing that well anymore, and we decided, okay, so a fruit tree is more productive and it gives you food. Not that roses are not edible, but you'll get more out of a tree, right?
Yep, that's right. So this is our new product. As you can see, it's by Neem Naturals. This is actually a company that we buy our neem oil for human digestion. I mean, yeah, can we just say digestion, I guess?
Digestion?
No, human
ingestion?
Ingestion. And but we just recently I found out that they actually carry neem for the garden, which neem oil is a natural insecticide and fungicide. Excuse the noise. And we went ahead and we bought that. And then also one of my old-time favorite soaps used for general use, and also especially this one is very good for insecticidal soap. You can make your own. You don't necessarily have to spend $13 to buy them. You can buy this bottle, cost around $6, and you just use 2 tablespoons or a tablespoon per sprayer, and put it in water, and it really does a good job. Wipes out majority of all types of insects.
So what soap is that?
This is Dr. Prunus Magic Soap.
And you've used that before for like mites, right? Or
yep.
Yeah.
For mites, for aphids, for white fly, scale, white scale, hard scale, soft shell scale, woolly aphids, pretty much takes care of everything. So it's a great oil. The reason why you gotta mix, it's a great soap. You have to mix the neem. So the ratio is, for each gallon, it's 4 teaspoons, and then 4 teaspoons.
Teaspoons?
Of oil
okay.
to a gallon sprayer, and then you want to add 2 teaspoons of this, so that it breaks down the oil, so that it will stick easier to all the to the leaves.
And usually you use it for like all these kind of bugs, or what other things do you use it for?
Well, we're using it for both bugs and a fungicide.
So, okay, so you could use it generally in any type of plant that has any of these problems?
Right.
Oh, and does it affect the, can you still eat the produce?
Yes.
So would you just wash it and...
You can wash it and then eat it. This is 100% organic, both products are. With this particular oil, this is different. This is not a pre-mix. Generally what they do when they mix it, they mix this and then they mix a soap in there. And then that's how the pre-made mixed. The difference is this is 100% neem oil. So you're getting 100%.
How much is it, more or less?
$14. We got it at iherb.com.
iHerb?
Yeah, iHerb. That's the company that we usually buy our supplements and some of our groceries and online. So iHerb.com. Great company.
And it also has discounts and stuff. So if you want to go to that website, we'll put the link in the description. And then where did you get Dr. Prunus Magic Soap?
That I got at you can buy it. They also have a website where you can buy it, but I bought it at the local, like Whole Foods or Sprouts. Well, Sprouts is local here, so Whole Foods is probably a little bit more. Basically, any type of organic market,
they'll have it?
They'll have it.
Oh, because it's used for other things other than plants, like to wash yourself and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's great soap. It's very mild.
Wasn't there like a documentary about it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you want to know more about this soap, there's a documentary. So today we're going to use these two products on what?
We're going to use this on actually our new fruit trees,
which are in the previous part of this video, and we're going to show you where they are and why we're going to use this. And
also the reason why we're using this is I'm using this in the case for the horticultural oils that are used, or the dormant oil. This is going to be my horticultural dormant oil, just because I felt it made a better choice where it actually not only killed insects and the insect the larva and the eggs, but also was a very strong fungicide. What I did when the research that I was looking at, it does have to be made with this type of ratio. I guess the oils that they make that you buy at the store, the pre-made mixes, are not strong enough.
Okay, so last week we planted this cherry and a peach that is right here. And right now you're spraying the mixture that you said, with the portions and ratios that you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is with water and in a sprayer, normal, sprayer like that. So, and you just spray it over all of it? Oh, you're spraying over the bark?
Yeah, you want to cover all.
What is this for?
The purpose is this.
Like, why are you doing it now instead of when it's blooming and having...
Oh, because to kill any funguses that might be growing on there.
How come we didn't do this with the lime trees?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. And any insects that might be living on there too.
So it's good to do this every time you're planting a tree?
And every fruit tree, you should spray them when their leaves fall off, just before they start to bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And and if you have any problems during, but most of the spraying is done before, to make sure that you kill any diseases that might have come over, you know, across
from where it was
before.
See, even the neighbor's plants are getting it.
It's okay.
No, that's good for him.
So you want to make sure you wet everything really good. As you can see, our tree is already starting to bud. And make sure you get all the buds, because especially peach. Peach is very prone to diseases. As I learned, I have horrible, terrible diseases. So,
what else are they susceptible to?
All kinds of bacterial and fungal infections.
So we're going to have to be extra careful with this one, right?
Well, we'll just make sure that it's a very healthy tree. One thing that's good about they may be prone to those diseases, but they actually are very fast growers too. So that's it.
So today is...
And you also don't want to do this when it's really hot. If it's over 80 degrees.
You don't want to do this?
No.
Doesn't spraying the neem when the sun would damage stuff?
Yeah, and you also want to try to do it during early morning like it is now.
So early morning or late, like in the afternoon, but not at night, so you can see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or where the sun doesn't hit directly your plant, because, well, after all, this is an oil. So oil and
after that,
sun.
That's it. So you want to do that every, you can do it every couple of weeks. Every 14 days.
So we're going to do it every 14 days?
Yeah, until it starts to, the leaves start to produce.
You were saying something about a grub that you found there when you removed the lime tree. My lime tree.
Oh, there was one white grub, and that was it.
So you think that our using nematodes was crucial in this case?
Yeah, I think so, and we're probably going to actually in the spring we'll do one more treatment because I'm not sure if this area has a lot of what they call fruit borers.
Mm-hmm.
They bore into the roots of the fruit trees and inside the fruit tree. So we're going to go ahead and buy some, so when they try to bore into the soil, they'll basically get eaten.
Okay. And then something we noticed, it was accidental, but it was kind of cool. So we planted the trees, the fruit trees that we have here in this site, by alphabetical order, because that one over there, that's the banana. That one's the cherry. And this one's the peach. So, I mean, we have more fruit trees, but
one other thing,
that was funny.
This is a good mixture to use on those who live in warm climates for winter. For the winter, to use the neem oil on your citrus trees. It'll keep. For some reason, during the winter, it seems that at least here we get a lot of scale and a lot of sap-sucking insects come around. So it's good to spray your trees with the neem oil, and it also controls funguses and other things. So you want to just do that once a month or once every couple. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.